Hey Facebook family, it's Dr. Shawna Eischens, and as you can see here, I want to get a little nutty with you and talk nut butters. A few people have had requests to go over the good and the bad of nut butters, so let's do that. Let's jump right in. And as you can see here, I have a few different nut butters that we consume in our house on a regular basis, but I also printed off some others. I won't mention this name. You can probably pick up on it if you read closely. Just a disclaimer, I have no affiliation with any of these. I'm not hating on any of these. I am just giving you education so you can make the best decision for you and your family. So let's jump in. This is labels from three different, it's the same company, but three different peanut butters. One's reduced fat, one's natural, and one is called Simply. And one thing, if you tuned into the yogurt video I did a few weeks ago, one thing I discussed was highlighting the less ingredients, the better. So as you can see with this one, we're looking at peanut butter. And good thing peanuts are number one. But then we've got corn syrup solids, sugar, soy protein, salt, fully hydrogenated vegetable oil, molasses, and then some nutrient fillers. But corn syrup solids, that is basically a liquid sweetener and food thickener. And sure, you're adding calories, but you're not adding nutrients. So really, there's no benefit for that. Sugar, we don't need to add sugar to nut butter. Of course, our world is sweet driven, but we've got other sweets, and especially if you're having it with honey or any other sweeteners, definitely don't want to add sugar to that. And then soy protein, no reason for soy protein to be in any nut butter here. Salt is actually one that I think, I'm biased, but I think a good quality sea salt does make it taste a lot better, but that's a personal preference and depending on your overall health, how you're going to tolerate salt. Fully hydrogenated vegetable oil. So this is not quite as bad as partially hydrogenated vegetable oil, which as we know is trans fats. And that is not good for our overall cardiovascular picture, including cholesterol. And there's all sorts of reasons trans fats are not good for us. But now what companies are changing it to is fully hydrogenated vegetable oil. So we've got hydrogen added to this and it makes it more solid and have more saturated fat. And then I'm going to skip to magnesium oxide and zinc oxide and folic acid. So in another video, I discussed supplements and multivitamins, and those are some forms that are definitely inferior, not well absorbed by the body, and just kind of fillers to make it look like this is more nutritious. So notice that this is the reduced fat one. Anytime people are skimping on fat, the company is going to add fillers and other ingredients, often sweeteners, to make it taste more appealing because they're taking out the fat. So this one is quote unquote natural by the same company. And peanuts, luckily, once again, is number one. But then we have the sugar again, and palm oil, salt, and molasses. So I won't reiterate what I've already said, but just be aware if it has sugar and or palm oil added, skip that. We can do better, especially for a natural product. Then same company, which this is a store-bought product that many of you either grew up on or are plenty familiar with. And by the way, this is not the worst one out there. This is just one I printed because I liked the three labels side by side. This one's called Simply. We've got roasted peanuts, once again, the fully hydrogenated vegetable oil, molasses, sugar, and salt. So not quite as many ingredients as the reduced fat, but we can do even better. So let's jump in. Oh, one thing I wanted to say about peanuts is if you're familiar with aflatoxin, that's a natural toxin produced by certain strains of mold, and that can grow in more humid climates. So if you are looking at really into peanut butter, I would recommend things like Valencia. That tends to be grown in places like New Mexico where it's more dry. And here we have made with 100% US Valencia peanuts. So less likely to have the aflatoxin, which is a carcinogen, especially not ideal for liver health. And this one, I'm jumping around a little here, but here are some fresh ground ones that you can get from the store. Believe it or not, those are actually higher in aflatoxin because there's more peanuts, and it's a fresher product, and just I'm not sure exactly why, but the aflatoxin can be higher. So what you'd want to do if you're eating a lot of peanut butter, which I don't recommend because it is more inflammatory and more people have food intolerances and allergies with it, but be sure to eat some greens with it, whether it's on celery or taking some chlorophyll or some liver support, so that can improve your overall health. So this one, I'm a major Costco fan. I don't know if you noticed, but see how this one and this one are stored upside down? Anytime you don't have those fillers, you're going to have the separation, as you can see right there. So when I open it, there's still going to be that oil separation, but if you store it upside down, it's going to be easier to stir up. And sometimes you can even pour off some of that oil. So creamy, organic Valencia. So good ingredients so far. Let's see. Dry roasted organic peanuts and sea salt. Score. Simple, healthy, and if people don't have an issue with peanuts, this would be a great option. So that goes in the positive category. This one, also Costco, I also store upside down. We go through a ton of this one. It's not necessarily organic, but the price is incredible for an almond butter. We're not over consuming peanuts. Almonds tend to have a less inflammatory / allergic profile, so that's always a bonus. And look at the ingredients, simply roasted almonds. So that's really positive, and this one tastes fantastic. Even though it doesn't have salt, it doesn't seem like it's lacking anything. I give 2 thumbs up to this one, the Costco almond butter creamy. And sometimes we also pour off a little of the oil on top, and then the bottom gets a little dry and crusty, but you can just stir it up the first time you use it. Another Costco product, and no, I'm not paid by Costco yet, but if you know of anybody, I'm happy to support them. Have them give me a holler. This one is actually a dry, as you can see, it's a powder, a dry peanut butter. And this, I've never added water and used it as a nut butter, but you can add this one to smoothies. So that's kind of fun and easy. So let's see. This one has organic peanuts, organic coconut, palm sugar, and salt. So it's not ideal with that palm sugar added, but the sugars are still at 2. With some of the other ones that add sugar in 2 tablespoons, the sugars were more like 3 or 4 grams. But you've still got lower carb, a decent amount of protein, and it's something fast and easy if people are into smoothies or they need a little protein in their smoothie and they're not doing a protein powder or want to even add a little protein. So that is a good, easy option, even though it does have a little additional not recommended product. So these 2 here, I actually got, let's see, this one was from Natural Grocers, and this one was from Sprouts. And as you can see, one is peanut butter with peanuts and salt. Love it. Simple and fresh. I haven't been refrigerating this one, but I do recommend it. And also with the aflatoxin, if you refrigerate these products, they tend to be a little less detrimental as far as the aflatoxin effect. And then this one is almond butter. And same thing, ingredients down on the bottom in purple there, dry, roasted, blanched almonds. Boom, that's all we need. And I wanted to show you this because we're talking about nut butter, but if it's coming from nuts, it should just be nuts, maybe a little sea salt. So this is organic raw almonds, and I just wanted to show you it's a similar profile. So we've got about the same amount of protein, about the same amount of carbs, and then most nut butters have 1 to 2 grams of sugar. And I never recommend people counting calories, and I've never been on that bandwagon, but as you can see, there's plenty of nutrients to sustain with some protein. So hopefully that gave you a little insight onto some of the best and worst nut butters out there. By the way, gosh, how did I forget this one? Nutso. This is my absolute favorite. It is definitely spendier, but I love supporting them. This is developed by a mom who adopted 2 malnourished children and started this mission, and this is the best tasty nut butter I have ever had. It's definitely a splurge, it's a treat, but it is so tasty. They do make multiple ones. They make an organic one, they make a vegan, they make they have one with peanuts. This one does not have peanuts. So we've got cashews, almonds, Brazil nuts, flax seeds, chia seeds, hazelnuts, pumpkin seeds, and sea salt. And it tastes absolutely amazing. You can see the panel there. Sugar is really low. Protein's about the same as the others, but as far as tasty, this is the bomb. Nutso. And like I said, they have a bunch of different ones, but if you want to mix up, if you've been eating a lot of peanut butter, I recommend rotating. If you've been eating a ton of almond butter, I recommend variety. Another option, there's lots of nut butters out there, but another option is sunflower butter. I'm not a huge fan on the taste, but for people with allergies to certain nuts or looking for a little variety, that's a great option. So if you have any questions or comments, please comment below. If you found this helpful in any way and want to share with others, please do so. Let us know how we can help you gain some knowledge in the future on healthy food choices. And one thing I didn't recommend, but I just remembered, is in some of these, even healthy, quote unquote, healthy nut butters, is agave. Agave, believe it or not, is worse than high fructose corn syrup. So do not buy products with agave. Protein bars, nut butters, that sort of thing. Skip it. We can do much better. So there's your nutty advice for the day, and share or comment away and let us know how we can bring more education your way in the future. Have a great day.